But we're in a room now of wooden things.
Yeah.
And it looks like a bunch of saints and Virgin Marys and et al. How about that?
Yeah.
With lots of like drapey robes. Just kind of nice to see.
I really like this style. I was saying yesterday, I think one of my favorite art forms might be the divine baby and how that's portrayed. Like, yeah, like especially when it's gilded. This one is wooden and a sculpture, but I think the flat painting gilded divine baby, those are some of my favorite pieces, and I don't really even know exactly why. I guess there's some understanding that the maker had an interest in like worshiping this idea of this person that's going to save them, but then there's also something sort of just humorous about it to me as like a contemporary idea of so many people painting these gilded babies that's all supposed to be the same baby that always looks different, and I don't know, there's just something really attractive about that to me.
And it's also a reflection of like what's left over, you know?
Right.
Like the things that were really, who was paying for it, and
right.
Of course then how much kind of labor and value was placed in it. These two babies create a nice contrast between like the bookish baby Jesus and then the baby Jesus who's pinching his mother's teat.
Right. Right, and this baby Jesus is giving a peace sign.
That's something special.
Oh, maybe some fingers fell off.
Something like this, yeah. And it looks like Mary's giving another sign.
Yeah. They both look very, like, peaceful and pleasant.
He looks more like an adult than the other one.
Yeah. Yeah.
He also looks like he has an iPhone.
Oh.
He does have an early tablet, you know?
He's got a case around it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's one of the ones that has like the wallet on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all that I've had to study like these works of art and like Renaissance European stuff, I haven't studied the stories separately. You know, I don't necessarily know, like, I haven't read the Bible.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of comes across as a variety of these iconic scenes.
Yeah. Well, between the three of us, we probably have a shared knowledge because Mike went to Catholic school.
Okay.
I didn't, but I have read the Bible.
Okay.
And you have a huge
I went to art
knowledge
history.
of art history school. So
Well,
we'll all pepper in different information.
We have the creche scene over here.
Okay.
We have the crucifixion over here.
Okay.
I'm sure, I guess I can't say I'm sure, but I would imagine there's probably Stations of the Cross depiction set up somewhere here, which is the lead up to the crucifixion. Yeah.
Can check the stained glass for
different signs. Well, there's the three wise men.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what some of these other things are necessarily. But you're absolutely right. For people that, if you can imagine in 2,000 years, the Marvel Cinematic Universe having a series of things.
Oh,
Okay, sure.
We go down the stairs?
Yes.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Thank you.
I didn't even realize we could go this way.
you were saying something about
Oh, what I
cinema?
was saying was that if to imagine what contemporary ideas of literature and morality, you joke to think like Star Wars or like the Marvel films or things like that, but there is moralizing within those tales.
Yeah.
And there is a very robust history that's told in that, fictional history, whether or not we choose to believe the Bible is fictional history or not. There's moralizing involved. And then if you've read the literature, then you can understand all the references that are happening in the stained glass and in the art. And then, somebody that would be a medieval person would have so many different understandings than what we have.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, because it's almost like, the Marvel is actually a really good comparison, because it's something that I mean, I haven't watched them, but I know most people have watched them, and like if they see something, they know the whole backstory. And yeah, the Bible was probably at some point just like the newest Harry Potter, like just the hot thing to read at the time. This room is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've probably spent quite a bit of time in cemeteries.
Yeah,
On your
this
walks,
year.
right?
This year we've been in so many cemeteries.
Okay.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
The original parks.
Okay. So these look like very elaborate tombstones.
Yeah.
Yes. We were, obviously we've just visited 5 different museums this week.
Okay.
And,
Wow.
Which is, there's so many things to say about that. First of all, it's like opening an ice cream and like eating 5 scoops and then throwing it away. Because we've been like staying an hour and a half, an hour, 2 hours in each one because we're still walking a marathon. And it just feels very indulgent to like walk at that pace and whatnot. But I'm thinking about it particularly because, yesterday we were at the Met and they have a very large Egyptian collection. And just thinking about how the Egyptian sarcophagus relates to what we're looking at right now.
Yeah. So similar. Still depicting the person that died in full. And I wonder, these just seem completely made out of stone. I imagine the body of the person would have been in a coffin underneath, most likely. And not, or they might have been on the wall or like in the entranceway. And I guess these all would have been painted. That's something that Mike pointed out to me yesterday at the Met in the Greek sculpture or Roman sculpture garden. He said, I wonder if these will ever be repainted. And I just never even thought about that. Like I always just thought they were supposed to be white. And then this, I guess the same thing, like you can see a little bit of the red.
Is that red
It's
or is
such a
it stained
different-
glass?
Oh,
I'm not sure.
I
It
think
looks like
it's
it might
just
be red
red.
because it seems to be still through my
yeah, I
hand.
think it's just red.
Yes, that's my understanding with the Greek and Roman sculpture. I guess I can't say 100%, but that seems to be my recollection from art history.
Yeah.
And we have such a contemporary understanding of trying to be faithful to whatever the understanding of the work was at that time, but with those neoclassical, or just classical, I don't know, that sculpture work is just been so hardwired as white and pure and clean, I don't know if it is, what's the faithful context at that point? Is it the understanding that has been developed in Western civilization, or was it the previous, original understanding?
Yeah. So much of that stuff was kind of dug up in the Renaissance and made iconic.
Yeah.
And so it seems like we largely live with the Renaissance understanding of the way it looked. And reconstructing the exact colorways on each piece is probably pretty complicated.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This is trivializing it in a similar way that comparing the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Star Wars to the Bible is trivializing it, but I'm very big into a genre of internet music referred to as vaporwave, which is like slowed down, chopped up music. And they use a lot of imagery of these classical pictures slammed together with like Windows 95 logos and like neon pinks and pastel blues and like just this sense of like, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it other than it's another iteration of this classical sculpture work, but like in a context that's neither of those things.
Right.
A digital universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some nice chainmail right there,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
looks like.
I guess this is armor too. I thought it was like a nice floral decoration or something, but wow. Oh, and the shoes even match. Oh, and
Yeah.
he has a little dog at his feet. Oh.
Jesse and I went to PS1 one year, not during this trip, and we saw a film that I have tried desperately to find again online, but it was a puppet show recreation of the entire history of the Crusades.
Ooh. Wow.
And it was like 3 or 4 hours long.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
And
amazing.
we watched like 20 minutes of it. and
We watched more than 20 minutes. We were in there for a while.
we were enthralled, but we
Yeah.
also stopped watching because we knew we couldn't watch the entire thing there. And I've always wanted to see it again, but I have yet to be able to track it down.
Yeah, it was interesting. We'll have to do another deep dive search for it.